You are listening to the Vibrant Life Podcast, episode 36. The Vibrant Life. Hey you, I'm Emily Romrell, and this is the Vibrant Life Podcast. We're on episode 36, people. The weeks just keep rolling by, and hopefully the podcasts keep getting better and better. I hope you all have had a great week. I have. My family and I have been working on a project that I'm stoked to announce really soon. Hopefully it'll be a go for next week. I can't give away the details yet, but you don't want to miss it, so stay tuned. I also had the chance to connect with a few friends that I haven't heard from in a while, and that always feels good. I just want to put this out there. I did a podcast early on called Never Suppress a Generous Thought. It's episode 13, and you should definitely check that out if you haven't yet. I'll put a link in the show notes. Anyway, this principle has brought so many happy moments and so many blessings into my life. Here's the secret. If you are thinking about someone, text them. If you love someone, tell them. If you're thankful for someone, let them know. I don't know why, but so many times we stop ourselves because we feel silly or we simply just get distracted in the daily grind. But if you make a small effort to recognize those thoughts when they come and act on them, it can really change your life. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast yet, do it. You know you want to. There's no effort on your part. But when you're subscribed, the next episode is always ready and waiting when you pull up your podcast app. And the Vibrant Life Podcast is on all of the major platforms, so just choose your favorite. And if you feel like you're benefiting from the messages, please leave a review on iTunes. That really makes a big difference in getting the podcast into the ears of as many people as possible. And while you're at it, share the love with your friends and family. Your support means so much, so thanks in advance. Okie dokie. Today we're going to talk about something really fun. And like the best things in life, it's also useful. I'm not sure about you, but I'm old enough to remember a hilarious TV show called Whose Line Is It Anyway? You guys remember that one? I think it came out in maybe the late 90s, early 2000s. But it's a super funny show where some goofy people do improv live in front of an audience, right? And they do a bunch of different games, but the key is that everything happens in the moment. Nothing is planned ahead. And if you're a theater person, then maybe you can guess where I'm going with this. There's one rule when you do improv. You can't say no. Whatever the person next to you proposes, you go with it. And then you make the next move. And they call this saying yes and, which is our focus today. Sometimes I feel like my life is a comedy. Do you ever feel like that? I think about the different scenarios I'm faced with, and I just have to laugh. Sometimes so I don't cry, right? Seriously, life hands us some crazy situations, not to mention difficult ones. And sometimes you do need to say no, especially if we're talking boundaries in relationships or making correct choices. But more often than not, you just have to deal with what life hands you. And a really great method to deal with the cards you're dealt is to follow the rule of improv. Say yes and. I'm not a poker player, but from what I've seen in TV and movies, you can basically say to life, well, I'll see your $20 and raise you $50. But you're not bluffing your way through the game. You work with the hand you have, or with the two hands at the end of your arms, right? Yes, I know I am so cheesy, but it's true. You have to work with what you got. And it's just simply a matter of being yourself. Also, I know I'm joking around a bit, but I know that the struggles we all face truly can be humbling, and I'm not making light of that. So let's dive into some possibilities. Obviously, there's two parts to this concept. I guess I'm all about imagery right now. Think of the situation you're applying the concept of yes and to as a coin toss. So the first side is the yes, and the flip side is the and. And it doesn't really matter which side you land on. Both sides have benefits, and sometimes the and comes first. But whichever side you land on, you have the ability to come out on top. What are some possible ands we can apply to a vibrant life? Here are a few that I came up with. Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and being grateful is perhaps the best and you can tack on to any situation. Here's a couple examples. I just lost my job, and I'm thankful for some unplanned time to spend with my family, not to mention my family's support. I'm dealing with some tough medical issues, and I'm grateful for my body and how it continues to allow me to touch, taste, see, and feel so many wonderful things, not to mention that my body has survived everything thrown at it up to this point. My friend hurt me in a way I would never have expected, and I can be thankful for this experience, which will allow me to be wiser in the future. Not to mention, I have other friends who love and support me in so many ways. You get the picture. This and of gratitude isn't always easy to implement. You can think the thoughts in your mind, but it's harder to allow yourself to truly embrace the emotions of being thankful. But I'm telling you, it's powerful. Another and you can use is playfulness. So here's a couple examples of that. I had a long, tiring day at work, and now I'm ready to play with my beautiful kids. What a wonderful way to relieve some stress. I just had a serious talk with someone I love, and now I'm going to lighten the mood with a playful nudge and a corny joke. My house is a disaster zone because I've let things go. And I'm going to dance playfully into my favorite music while I clean up. My laundry basket will become a basketball hoop, and I'm going to slide on the kitchen floor in my socks. By choosing to be cheerful and maybe even frolicsome as you play with the different scenarios in your life, you might be surprised at how joyful an ordinary day can be. This is basically the Mary Poppins effect, right? And I did do a podcast on that. I think it's episode 12, so check that out. Here's the truth. All of these different parts of living a vibrant life are interconnected, right? One idea or concept influences the next one. And that's why when you improve in one area, you also improve in others. I probably should do a podcast on synergy sometime. Synergy is just, it acknowledges that the combination of two or more things are often greater than the sum of the parts, right? So like 1 + 1 can actually equal more than 2. We'll save that for another day. But as I dig into different ideas for the podcast, the way everything links together sinks in deep. Thanks for bearing with me as I got sidetracked for a minute. But here in this moment is another great example. I'm delivering a message on the benefits of improvisation, and I can connect the dots into other areas of a vibrant life. I want to point out that the ands in life don't always have to apply to hard things. They can just add another layer of meaning in whatever you're going through. So struggles, joys, pains are just everyday experiences. During junior high and high school, I played the clarinet. And when I was young, I imagined myself being a great improviser in jazz music. It's kind of funny to me now. I am not a jazz expert at all, and my skills are pretty limited. I mainly switch to the guitar these days, but now and then I do pull out my old clarinet and some decent tunes come out. I also enjoy listening to old school jazz songs. They seem to emphasize like all the good things in life, right? But musicians in all genres will improvise in varying degrees. That's really a big part of what music is. Improvisation makes songs original and allows for imagination and innovation. Do you want to know the secret to great improvisation? You find the core of the song, the bones and structure that make the thing what it is, that tell the story you want to tell. Then you apply the and. You make the song yours. You add the notes that can only be uniquely applied by you in the moment. And the really cool thing is that as you are doing all this on your instrument, you find a harmony with the rest of the musicians as they're doing the same thing. When it's done just right, it's magic. Improvisation is not limited to music, though. If you look at the biggest influencers, the most successful people, the happiest people in this world, you're going to find that they have mastered the skill of improvisation. They know how to take the heart of whatever they're working with and make it their own. Okay, I think we've covered the and side of the coin pretty well. So now let's talk about the yes. In all of the previous examples so far, there was an element of acceptance, right? There literally can't be an and unless you say yes to the situation. You embrace what's happening to you, then continue with the and. But there's so much more to saying yes. This side of the coin is something that I often struggle with, and I'm honestly still working on this in my personal life. Definitely not perfect at this, guys. But I do know in my soul that the value in this half of the concept is priceless. I'm talking about saying yes to opportunities and experiences that come our way. Have you ever been offered the chance to do something new, but you dismissed the opportunity because it scared you? Maybe the offer was something you just never imagined doing, so you closed the door without even truly considering it. Maybe you felt you were too busy with other things. Maybe you don't know the person who's giving you this opportunity very well and you don't want to be a bother, or you're not convinced they're very sincere, or whatever. Maybe you simply don't want to put in the effort. It is so easy to say no for a multitude of reasons. Right now, though, I'm inviting you to say yes. Be thoughtful about your decisions, but say yes as often as you can. So let's take all of my excuses and put them out of their misery. So the first one, I think I said, it scares you. I'm a huge fan of quotes, guys. You can check out my site or whatever. You know I love quotes and famous thinkers and all that kind of stuff. And I can't tell you how many different ways different thought leaders have conveyed this truth. If something scares you, it's probably a good thing to try. And that idea can be found in various forms all over the place. Unless you have a legitimate reason for saying no, saying yes to going outside your comfort zone and doing those things that scare you, you're going to find that you have more courage than you originally believed, and you're going to have those adventures that make life worth living, even if they're the everyday adventures. Sometimes those are the best kind. The second excuse was you never imagined yourself doing something like that. That's a dumb excuse, and you know it. Open your mind and your heart and make room for imagination. I'm all about that. And do the things that are different. Say yes. 3 was you're too busy. Okay, peeps, I know all the things. And we do need to make a living and provide for our families. We all have commitments that are really important to keep. So, I realize that. But don't make that an excuse to say no. If something really matters, you can make time for it. It may require some finagling, but you can do it, and you won't be sorry. Make the time to say yes to those things that make life worth living. Okay, 4, you don't know the person providing this opportunity very well, or you're not sure about their sincerity, etc. And I'm as guilty as the next person at this one, but we humans overthink things too much. We should take people at their word, right? Seriously, if someone makes the effort to invite you to do something, believe them, that offer is going to be genuine most of the time. And a new opportunity is a fabulous way to turn an acquaintance into a friend. 5, you don't want to put in the effort. Again, I feel ya, my friends. Managing energy has been a struggle for me, and I can understand. Energy is key, and when you're dealing with hard things, putting more energy and effort into new experiences can be super challenging. But personally, I have never once regretted that kind of effort. You may even be surprised to find yourself more energized by saying yes and doing something really worthwhile. Don't say no to life out of habit, guys. Live deliberately. By saying yes as often as possible to the opportunities life hands us, our lives are going to be richer, more meaningful, more fun, and you guessed it, more vibrant. If we can say yes, and it's even better. Anytime someone makes you an offer or requests something of you, big or small, consider what saying yes would mean. Then consider how you could add to that opportunity or request with an and. The and that you add on is going to be something that's uniquely yours, and it's going to mean a lot. Put a little improv into your day-to-day. So I really believe in this principle of saying yes, and I'd encourage you to take a few minutes and reflect on how you can put a little bit more improv in your life. It will make a difference. Thank you so much for spending time with me, guys. It means a lot. And take care. I hope you guys have a terrific week.